Okay, we're going to get started. Welcome everybody. Just wanted we're kind of excited to do this a little different today. And sorry if I talk a little bit too fast because we've got a lot of information to cover in a short amount of time. So we'll get started. I'm going to flip the screen, Brittany. Brittany's in charge of the screen, sorry. We're going to kind of introduce the team. We have Sonia Davis right here. We have Brittany Cleveland. And we have Amanda Shirley. And we're going to talk to you guys about what we're doing virtually for our tutoring, for our family nights, and for our skill building. So we're very excited about that. And then we're going to have about 15 minutes for questions and answers. So if we're too fast, just back us up and we'll answer some questions for you. Okay, we ready to roll? This is kind of what we kind of sat down one day and was like, oh my gosh, the world's changing. We've got to get different thoughts going, looking at different ways that we can service our students and service our families. So we sat down and we was like, okay, what are we going to do? And this is what we've come up with. So.
Good morning, I'm Brittany. I'm going to talk to you guys about how we handled virtual tutoring. And I know you all were in the same boat as we are. I don't know if you are middle school, high school, elementary, but we basically just did high school for the summer when everything hit us. And that's summer camp time. And you know, that is one of our big times. High school level, we help with so much credit recovery and getting students back on track that we kind of had a little freak out moment. Like, what are we going to do? We can't have students in our building. Thankfully, we use Edgenuity. Is everybody familiar with Edgenuity? If you're not, it's a wonderful program, especially for online learning and all of the virtual tutoring we've had to do. And that was our go-to to recoup credit. They have awesome credit recovery classes in there. And our second problem was we have students that didn't have internet access at home. Like your school probably does. We have Chromebooks that were available for checkout, but we ran into the problem of what do we do with these 5 students that can't access anything unless they're in our building. So we did a quick research and found a great company called Kajit, and I'm going to show you this. I hope you all can see this. This is their hotspot. I don't know if your schools use them or not, but write this name down if they don't. They have been an awesome company to work with. These hotspots are already filtered for educational purposes. So we did not have to go in and monitor, oh my gosh, what if these students are on social media or websites they shouldn't be on while they're supposed to be doing their work. They already have the filter set up in this program, and you can monitor it through your own dashboard. You can check it out just like they're checking out library books, so you know who is on each device and what they're visiting, how many hours a day they're on there. It was a great find for us. And we also started the year at Barron County as a hybrid schedule for our middle and high school students. So we were tasked with not only doing tutoring in person with students that are in school, but we also were tasked with, like many of you, tutoring students that are virtually learning through Edgenuity. That posed a little bit of a problem for us. We have had so many students that are A students that are C and D and F students now while they're learning virtually. We just had our midterms. I'm sure you guys are pretty close to us as far as that goes. And the last few days of school this last week, we're actually on fall break this week. I cannot tell you how many questions I answered about, what about our virtual students? What about our virtual students? So our program is allowing virtual students to come in after school and get one-on-one help if needed with a teacher, a certified staff member. We tried to just do tutoring virtually using, we know our Zoom, what we're using right now. Google Meet, Google Classroom. Our teachers have been pretty creative as far as how they are working with our students and what they are using to keep up with. I know Kentucky, our state, requires that we have some kind of sign-in for our students, and that's kind of hard virtually, especially if you're just using Google Classroom. And there are some cool extensions on Google Meet now where you can keep attendance. That's helped. It's called the attendance extension. It's pretty easy to find. It will keep automatically attendance every time you log in using Google Meet if that's something that your school will let you use. Obviously, you can record your meetings. And then we also made sure that any of our students that are virtual, if they need any supplies, that we make sure and get those to them beforehand. We have utilized our food delivery. Our district has been delivering food, and we've also been able to take out supplies to students with that service as well. Let's see, here's our referral form. One thing we did this year is we converted everything to digital format. So our registration form is digital, our referral form is digital. We've tried to make everything digital so that we can get as much participation as possible. Google Forms is amazing. It seems like everybody is using G Suite now. If you don't know how to use those, please reach out to us. We would love to help you figure that out. It is a great way to have participation recorded, send out surveys, send out referrals. I mean, we have done everything in that. Our teachers use these referral forms. And then the spreadsheet that you can see over here on the right is the way one of my tutors reports to me what she is doing. Like, she shared this with me, and we have access to it, so I can pull it up at any time and see what she's doing and who she's working with and how many students are with her. I know I covered a lot really fast, and I'm going to put in the chat some of the links and some of the things we use. I know some of my teachers, we have French coming up, and I know that's not tutoring, but she is going to be using Bitmoji Classroom. And we have some really cool links that describe Bitmoji Classroom for you that we'll share as well, because that's just a really fun way to do it. And I'm going to turn over to Amanda now for our skill building talk. Let me mute myself.
Hey guys.
Hold on. Okay, I think I'm muted.
Okay. I wanted to answer that question from Ava real quick also. Do you have any families without internet access at home? Yes, we do. And that's those Khajiit hotspots come in. They come in so handy for reaching those kids. Okay, so skill building. Of course, this year is pose challenges for everything, especially in our district, because we started out on a tier yellow, and we've been hopping from tier yellow to tier red. So what that means for our school district is absolutely no visitors are allowed in the building. So even we're hybrid, so sometimes kids are working virtually, sometimes they're in person. But from day one, we've not been allowed any visitors. So of course, with skill building nights, that creates a little bit of a problem to get them in the building, to get our community partners in here talking to them. So we had to kind of think outside of the box to reach those grant requirements to provide those skill building nights. And we all sat down at the beginning of the year. We came up with the events that we thought was going to be important this year, especially with COVID, and try to create our events to what parents are going to be interested in. So we set those events ahead of time, filled out Google Forms. Am I working with an echo? Do you guys hear an echo?
I don't hear an echo.
Okay. So we created Google Forms for each of these events. And as you can see on this next slide, we sent out a skill building and family night letter for all of our registered, we emailed this to all of our registered participants, parents, creating QR codes for these Google Forms, and asked them to help us meet our grant requirements and to please at least select 3. They could select all, but at least up to 3 to help us fulfill our grant requirements for our skill building and family night events. So, okay, good deal. And let's see. So we moved everything virtually. And what we do is we let them sign up for these events. We still go ahead and send it out, send the link out to all of our email addresses that we collected on our virtual enrollment form. We went paperless this year because of COVID, so we did enrollment forms virtually also via Google Form. So they sign up. We get community partners to make videos, to do Q&As, do Google Meets, and we usually use Google Slide presentation as our platform for these events. We put it all together in a Google Slide presentation, present it to the participants, and then put a survey on the end so they have an opportunity to provide feedback, ask additional questions, and tell us how we did, what they want to see more of, and how we can improve. So far, it's been a huge success. I would say probably one of the biggest challenges as a coordinator for myself is creating these skill building events and getting community partners to come in. This is in person. Getting the community partners to come in, and then you get there and maybe 5 people show up. And you're disappointing. It's frustrating, to say the least. And I know you guys have probably all been there before as well. What I find with virtual skill building is that we send this out. Sometimes it's an email form, sometimes it's Q&A via Google Meet. But a lot of times with especially the email format, they can work it into their schedule. So if we set it at Tuesday at 5:30, and parents with schedules, this kid has soccer this time, oh, I'm just getting off work at 5, I'm not going to be able to make it. I find that the attendance has actually been impressive. I mean, it's gone up quite a bit just because of the convenience I think that it offers to our parents. So I think I covered everything on skill building. I know I probably went a little fast, but as you can see on this next slide, I will cover this. These are some of our is that virtual family?
Yeah, it went cuckoo. Here we go. Sorry.
That's okay.
There you go.
Okay. So these are our 6 skill building events that we come up with. Become More Work Ethics for Students. That's a program we rolled out several years ago. We kind of amped it up last year, and it's great for parents and students that we can get involved. Budgeting, virtual job search and interviews, which is coming up here in just a little bit. We've already done 3? Is that right? 3 skill building. Skill building events this year, and have had a lot of success. And then of course the learn how to navigating and effectively using social media. Kids are on social media more than ever now because of not being able to be with their friends, and then having to do virtual learning in a lot more often now. So we just thought that was going to be very useful with helping parents to know what to watch for and kind of how to let their kids navigate that social media effectively and properly. Sign language skill building, that's coming up. We're all very excited about that. Can't wait to see that one. And substance abuse awareness and training with our local Kentucky ASAP coordinator. So, and I will let Sonia take it away. I think she's going to cover family engagement.
You're muted.
Okay, am I muted? Am I good? Can you hear me?
Oh.
Can you hear me now? Oh. I think I'm good. Brittany, can you hear me? How am I muted? Oh, here.
I hear you.
No, you're still muted.
Oh, she hears it.
Oh, okay.
I can hear. Oh, now she's.
Now am I good? Okay, we're going to talk about family engagement. Oh my, has that changed for this year? So, used to we would have all kinds of little socials and little things. Well, now we can't do that now. So, and like Amanda kind of talked about, it was really disheartening when you would have a family night and 2 or 3 people showed up. With this, we can actually, can you not hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me now? Am I louder? Okay, because sometimes I talk too loud, so I tried to mute myself down a little bit. So we're going to talk about family night and how we're doing family night virtual. And like Amanda also pointed out, we have more response now because actually all of a sudden a parent says, I haven't heard, I want to hear something about nutrition at home, so we can actually get that out. We actually did a survey to see exactly what people were wanting in our community. So that we were actually tagging and getting out the information that the families wanted in our community. And these were the 6 things we came up with. I won't go over all them with you guys. I did see where somebody asked if we could send this presentation out, and definitely we will send everything that we know out to you guys. We've actually done one parent night, and that was that's where we were going. Go back one more, Brittany. Okay, there, in the campus. Well, this is actually what we did, and this is kind of what you would see if you got one of our presentations. So Brittany's going to kind of walk us through that. We'll kind of go through this. It kind of gives you, and what all parents have trouble with is getting on the Infinite campus. So, I mean, they have so many questions about it, looking at their grades, looking at different things, and they have this particular access. So we went through and did a step 1, step 2, step 3. It was a lot of parents really appreciated it because even with using the app or on your computer, some parents aren't as savvy, and parents have had to be savvy this year. I mean, with all the virtual going on and everything. So we wanted to make sure that everybody knew what, their grades were, where their child was falling, and all that information. So we walked them through totally. And we're not going to play the video, but we can send this all to you guys. We can send the whole PowerPoint presentation that you can actually go through it. And then at the end of all of our presentations that we do, we always have a survey that they can do. And that's actually how we count our attendance, which is really cool because once they take that survey, that puts it into account, and we can turn that in as our attendance that night. And one good thing about it is we can call back, we can look and see who has took it out of our kids and which parents have reviewed it, and then we can actually call them and talk to them and ask them if they've reviewed it and would they please go back through and look at this stuff. So we're very excited how we're doing this. And what's the next one? You can go back to, I think we missed a slide, didn't we?
I don't think so. This one?
Oh yeah. And honestly, with our whole program, if the kids can't come in, we make sure they have a snack. So it's pretty cool how our district has worked with us and helped us with all of our after school activities. We have some really cool things, as Brittany kind of talked about, making deliveries. We all go out and make deliveries and check on our kids and make sure everything's going on, what they need. If they need hotspots, if they need Chromebooks, do the parents have questions? We were out doing some checks one day, and we were just in a neighborhood, and a guy walked out to us, me and Brittany, and said, could you all tell me how my son could get some tutoring? I mean, it was awesome because we were like, oh my gosh, we can sign you up. And so we got that taken care of. It's just pretty cool. But like all of us, we've had to, it's been a difficult time. We've put a lot more hours in than we ever thought we would put in. And but you know what, when it all comes down to it, it's worth it. So, everything's paper. We've tried to be paperless. We've tried to be everything. So, do you guys have any questions about anything? I see we have 22.
I think I can stop sharing now.
Yeah.
All right. Now I can look at questions too.
You guys can kind of open up and talk to us.
The grade level we did, was middle school and high school is where we started. We actually have 2 elementary schools in our district as well that are using our family night and skill building nights. And they just take our presentations and cater them more to their level. Like the work ethics, for example, like that's a district initiative that started last year, which, at the high school we had already been doing it. And so they have started doing just little career activities, just putting stuff like that out there, making it more kid friendly instead of young adult friendly.
You guys can talk to us if you want to.
Did you see that one?
Do we record? Yes. When we present, we haven't presented a live skill building yet. So far, the 3 we have done have been just presentations. And we, like Amanda said, we email those out. And we also put those, we have a Facebook page for our 21st century. And so we post those. We don't record those. What we do is use our form at the end to count attendance for that. So they take a survey that's like literally a minute and a half, maybe. It asks them their name, what grade, what school their student goes to, if the video was helpful, if there's anything else they would like to see. And the Infinite Campus one specifically, there were several middle school students that were locked out of their Infinite Campus. They had no idea how to find out how to get it fixed, and that was something that we were able to do for them the very next day after we presented it. So that was kind of like, that was an aha moment. Maybe this is a way, parents generally are nervous to talk to you, especially if their kids are just moving to middle school or high school especially. So that was really a good way for us to bridge the gap there for that family.
And the one about the surveys, we do make our surveys up. We will actually send those out to you guys if you want them. We do them by Google Docs as well. We try to pretty much cover it. Sometimes when you get information from us, it's a lot of information. We've been trying to shorten some stuff down to just get what we need, but sometimes we like overthink it. So, and I'm sure you guys do too.
We actually haven't had any trouble getting anybody to do surveys yet. Now, they might get tired of them as we go on. They've had to do so many things digitally. But we haven't really had to motivate anybody yet.
And I think our parents know we're going to call them. I mean, that's another thing. We send something out, and then we're starting to get in this motion that, oh, it's been a week, and we haven't heard from certain ones, so we call them, and then they're like, oh, okay, I'll get it done. So we're kind of getting them, I guess you would say, we just have to train everybody.
Sonia brings up a good point. Something that we have done at the middle school this year is we usually hired someone to kind of help us check kids in, check kids out, make sure they were in the right space. And this year we don't really have that problem. So we are using her to actually call our families instead of helping us check students out, and make the contact saying, what do you need from us this year? Have you been able to check out our presentations? So we actually put someone on payroll to help us make phone calls this year because there are so many to make. There just are not enough hours in the day as coordinators to get everything done and make those family contacts. So that was a good, and I think Amanda had that idea for us this year. And I've just got someone at the high school to do the same. And I have also tagged someone, a certified teacher that, and I know you all are probably going to laugh at this because I talked with a parent last week, probably for an hour. Her son is a good student. He's personable. His teachers like him. But he has 2 classes that we're on a hybrid schedule. And on his days off, he does nothing. Does nothing. He has the work. He comes back. He doesn't turn it in. Mom was like, I don't know what to do. I am structured at home. She's actually a stay-at-home mom, so she's not at work. He's not in bed all day. He's doing the work. He's not turning it in. So I actually have hired a tutor at the high school to help these students get themselves organized, to do their work and turn it in efficiently, which I feel like I've hired them a personal assistant, to be honest with you. But I have found that they really don't understand, it's not something they've ever had to do before. So this is a sophomore, and this is the first year that he's had to actually be accountable for turning in his own stuff, and he just was not making the connection. So I'm anxious to see how that goes. We started this last week, so I'm anxious to see if after fall break he's more in line with turning his stuff in.
The question about if we can't get a hold of them on the phone, basically what we do is we also have drivers that go out. That we don't hire them. Actually, the food service has drivers that deliver to families as well. And if they are one of those, we just check to see if they're there. If they're there, then one of us will show up. We try to get out there to knock on their door. Life has changed. But you know what? It's kind of been eye-opening because we actually have figured out where some of these kids come from, and now we can say, oh, this is how we need to help them. So it's been a real big eye-opener to find out that some of the kids that we thought had a great life, and some of them, when you find out where they live, it's kind of sad. But if that doesn't work, then we try to get with the district and go beyond that point to try to get the services that this child needs. So
yes, Eva, you are exactly right. It definitely takes new skills for online assignments. And these students are not, they really are struggling. And I had one teacher who was so frustrated because he is not proficient in technology at all. He is very old school, paper and book. And he's actually using Google Classroom. And he said, if I can figure this out, I know these students can figure it out. They can do anything they want on technology. But it's a different kind of technology, and they are just not all connecting the dots.
And the strategies are different.
On average, we have had 20 to 30 students or families on average participate. We advertise to new students and families by email. One thing we've started doing this year is emailing every student in the high school, every student in the middle school. We've emailed them our registration form, our activity list, because one good thing that has come out of this is students are checking their email. They are actually getting on there and looking at their email. And they are responding. We started an Every Monday Matters Club a couple of weeks ago. I hope you all have heard about that. If you haven't, look it up. We heard of it at the 21st Century Conference last year, I believe. Was that last year? Or the year before? But our students love that, and we email them every Monday, and it feels impersonal, but it is such a cool program. And we hang flyers. We post on our Facebook for families. Also, all of our information is on our school website. We have our own section for 21st Century. And then at the high school, our partner is actually a broadcasting company here in Barron County. And we actually had our first advisory council meeting with them, and he offered to do little spots for our program during our sporting events, because so many people are listening to them now since they can't have as many people come in person. So that's another way we're going to start getting those out there, is giving little spots. So there's all kinds of free ways to get the stuff out there. It's just learning how to do it.
Brittany, did you see that one about Google Docs? We would love to kind of do a little class on Google Docs with anybody that would love to do it. Yeah. We can set that up. If you guys email us and we want to get a group together and do a Zoom meeting with that, we would be great to do that. We love sharing stuff. We love hearing other people's stuff. That's the only thing I hate about being virtual all the time. We can't see and hear other people's things that's going on. To get ideas and bring them back. So that's the only thing that's kind of bad.
Yeah. Brandy, if you will drop your email address for me in the comment box, I would be happy to share some of the stuff she's doing with the student for his organization. We'll be back in school next week, and we will definitely reach out to her and have her share that with you.
Do you want me to add our email addresses?
Yes, and Amanda's going to put our email addresses in the contact box as well. And I think we all have our profiles public, and I'm going to start dropping stuff in the forum for you guys.
Brittany's really good at that. I'm really bad at that.
That's not true.
The
You're
crazy
doing
thing
very
is, it
well.
takes all three of us to get stuff done. But hey, Terry, I'm gonna say hi to Terry out there.
I don't see very many faces. You all need to turn your cameras on.
And you guys, I am such a people person, and I've had to sit in my seat this whole entire time. It's
I know.
I'm like going, I'm just, shoot. I like to see everybody. That's the only thing that really bothers me.
Google about training. Rita Payne would be
Yes.
interested.
Do you have a piece of paper? Will you start writing those email
sure.
addresses down? I know it'll be recorded, but I'd like to be able to access them easily.
Now, and anything that you guys need from us, or any questions or anything else, hey, we see somebody. I'm so excited. Nice.
Amanda and I came to school today, like we're the only people in the building besides the custodians, literally just for the internet connection, so we could like have good faces. Hey, oh yay, yay! I love seeing your faces, even if there are kids and dogs running around. It's okay. Are you guys on fall break as well? Anybody? No. Oh. Well, we are, but we're working during fall break, so you know.
You set up your skill builder.
Oh, yeah, the skill building. Yes.
Set up our skill builder video. Fall break is there.
You know, the
Oh, every Monday
building
night.
online has been really a good thing for us. It's a lot of work on the very first one, but after that, it just gets so much easier.
And we can send the email and all of our links and how we do that. I mean, it took all three of us to kind of, and I mean, so we're here at your all's mercy.
Oh, Terry, yes, I will send you Every Monday Matters. It is wonderful. It is an emotional learning program.
That even helps you. The Monday Matter even
It does. It's Matthew. Can you all see his name? I don't know how to say it. But he has a book, but there's also a website, everymondaymatters.com. He just launched a brand new one. It's free. All the programming is free, 100% free. And the students absolutely shine in this program. I mean, it takes very little effort on our part, and they engage so well. It has been a really good program for us. And as a matter of fact, when all of the COVID hit in March, that was one thing we were the most heartbroken about, was we weren't going to get to meet with our kids. And we kept that up on Zoom, and it was such a blessing for us. The age group for Every Monday Matters is kindergarten to 199. Yeah. It is literally, I mean, it is adaptable to any age.
And the kids that you are reaching are the ones that join it. It's really
yeah, they are. They really are. And you know, last year we had a star basketball player and one of the shyest foster kids you will ever meet in the program. And it was the best thing to watch them connect over things that, you know, they had no idea were in common. It was amazing. Just out of a little, and it's about 20 minutes is what it takes to do any lesson. It's very short. And yes, there's the Every Monday Matters. Thank you for sharing that. But it's wonderful. The book is called Every Monday Matters, and they're on Amazon, but you can also get them on his website as well. And he has a new one. We just haven't gotten that one yet.
Hey, can you see if you can get the scavenger hunt, Amanda? to send her the
activation code.
Oh goodness, I don't know how to do that.
I'm not for sure on that.
Have we missed any questions, anybody?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What's the racial demographics in your after-school program?
Our racial demographics, we are probably a 90% Caucasian school and 10% Black and Hispanic. It's probably about the same exact split, to be honest, at the high school. We have probably our biggest difference is our free and reduced, and we are about 90% free and reduced in our area. Let's see. Anything else I've missed? Anybody have any questions?
I know we went through it really, really fast.
Well, there's so many people on here.
Well, and we were like, when we did when we first started this, and they were like, okay, if you go over it, everybody has to pay. And we was like, oh, we're going to run through ours really quick.
Okay, well, I mean, I've got a question, if you don't mind. Because one of our biggest struggles right now, because our selling point is that we individualize tutoring, and that was really easy to do. Like if we had 30 kids, to have 5 staff in one room and go around to them. But when you're in a Google Meet, it's really hard to have 30 kids and only 5 teachers. So how are you guys incorporating, I mean, I don't even know if you do individualized tutoring. How are you incorporating that virtually to meet the needs of every one of your students?
Well, the main thing we have done is broke up into sections. So I am high school level, so I have a science teacher, a math teacher, an English teacher, and what they have done is created their own Google Classroom for after school specifically, with their own Google Meet link in there. And students that are having, well, let me back up. I actually have 2 math tutors. One is for advanced math, and then one is for, basic algebra, geometry, that sort of thing. And so what they're doing is making certain times, and they have not had more than 5 to 10 students at a time so far. And they have really liked that aspect of it. What we have ran into a problem with at our school, especially since we're on the hybrid schedule, is we're only allowed to do after school hours, is we have in-person students and virtual students at the same time. And I don't have enough money to pay double everything. And it seems like everything is costing so much more money because we have to take temperatures and we have to clean and we have, I mean, it's almost overwhelming when you break it all down. But what we had decided was that we would make, say, 3:15 to 4 o'clock in-person tutoring time so that the math teacher could be in person with the students that are actually coming for in-person. And then 4:15 to 5 is virtual tutoring time. So they're allowed to get on the Meet. And some of them aren't even getting on a Google Meet. Like they're just using Google Chat, and then sending short videos of process, how to do stuff. So they've really tried to work with the kids on what they need.
And yes, we do have a morning meeting and an afternoon. Did you see that, Brittany?
No, what was it?
We have a morning program and after school program at all of our 21st century schools.
Yes, and our advanced math teacher is actually having some morning tutoring as well. And then, I didn't know about the Zoom breakout option. That's cool.
Yeah, I see that.
And then,
sorry, we squirrel.
yeah, that was definitely a squirrel moment. And then our morning program has still been extended library hours in person. And then we do our every Monday morning matters as a morning session as well. So most of the time our tutoring is afternoon, but we do have one session in the morning right now. Oh, I see a little bitty face. How sweet.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Our morning sessions are hugely popular. It takes a little while to get them going, but once kids find out about them, because they have so many things going on in the afternoons, that they really do. Our extended library, I don't know if you guys do that at your schools, but it has been an amazing thing for us, mostly because some kids don't have a printer at home and they will come in and finish their homework and get it printed out. Our morning sessions start at 6:45 now. They're only 30 minutes because at 7:15, all of our students that are in person are supposed to go to their homerooms. So we don't have that group meetings anymore, which I'm kind of sad about, because we did have lots of library time and extra things going on. But we do 6:45 to 7:15, and that is for our tutoring and our extended library hours. And then our every Monday morning matters. Every Monday matters on Monday mornings is 7:15 to about 7:30. So it's just a quick 15-minute get you started for the week class.
And Terry, we can talk to you when we all get back after fall break. Terry had a question. Did you see Terry Smith?
About boosting attendance. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest number pullers for us, and I'm not really sure how it started. But once they find out it is there, like it really does get picked up, because, like I said, they have band, they have football, they have everything else going on in the afternoon where they can't participate with us. So it has been a big number puller for us.
And it also works across the elementary. For some reason, our elementary morning sessions are full too. So it's just because that's preparing some of the kids that are prepared for the day, and it's worked out great. I mean, when the buses roll in and the parents roll in, they go right to the breakfast club, is what we call it in elementary.
They sure do. Heather, our school is actually kind of touch and go on the bringing students together in the morning and afternoon. Morning time, only students that are in school that day. We have burgundy and gold schedule, so only burgundy students can come in on burgundy days. But now afternoons, we can have both come in, whether they're virtual or in person.
Brittany, did you see the one from Daniel? Actually, we actually get with the principals and set a lot of that up, and they direct the students that they know needs to come to our morning meetings to us. So it's one of those things that, okay, you're here at 6:45, you're going into tutoring because you're, pretty much you're on not the right track. So, and you, Amanda or Brittany, can talk more about that.
Yes, we get referrals. I still can't see the question. I'm sorry.
Right.
We are struggling with our middle school morning
Yeah.
tutoring.
There it is.
But this year we aren't getting anyone.
I don't even have my glasses on.
That is one of the things that we did was, are you guys virtual, or are you hybrid? Are you 100% in person? What are you guys, Daniel? You're hybrid. Okay, so we are too. And what we have done is we started a spreadsheet, but then our principals started a spreadsheet as well, where they put in students that they're having trouble contacting. And so then our phone contact is reaching out to the parents to let them know that we have that service available if they just get there early. And I know it's a lot of work and more money because we have another person doing something, but there are so many of them. Our high school actually had 300 truancy notices sent out, which is a record, and they were all virtual. So we have really, really had to put in the time making some phone calls to students and parents, because a lot of times they just don't think we're doing it anymore just because we're on hybrid. But I would highly suggest making a Facebook page. I don't know if you're a social media person, but a lot of those parents are, and they get on there and see that and just advertise that on there that we're doing our tutoring. That was one thing that really helped for us. And having principals and counselors call, because sometimes they don't listen to us, but they will listen if the principal calls and says, look, your kid's failing. This is what they need to do. Show up this time. And it really helps to have them have your back. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. It looks like we're about out of time, guys. Does anybody else have anything?
Let's see. Do you see the one from Becky?
On their off day.
They're starting to. Our midterms just went out, and teachers are being a little more flexible this year and allowing students to retake tests, like if they didn't get it or if they need some extra help. So they're starting to make that jump in, because, you know, when parents actually get the grade card and it says C, D, F, F, they're like, yeah, you got to get into school. So they are starting to come. And I will be honest, we have tried to make as much as we could virtual this first 9 weeks, just because everything was so unsure. And the more we get into it, the more we're seeing that they want in-person stuff. So we're trying to slowly add that in.
Where will we be posting the slides? Will that be?
I think we're going to create a forum for it. We'll just name it the same exact thing as our presentation here, and we'll add the slides in there. And then we can email you guys that send us your email, the information. And thank you all so much for coming and joining us an hour with us.
Yeah, we were a little nervous about this.
Definitely a little nervous.
Very nervous.
But very excited. Glad you guys enjoed.
I'm so
If you have any questions, please contact us. Please contact us.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Guys.
See ya.
Have a great rest of your week.
Amanda, there's a lot of emails going in there, so.
I'm not going to get them all. We may have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I was looking to see if there's a way to print the chat.
That's what I saved the chat.
Oh, good.
So I'm hoping I saved it so that way we can have it.
There's some more. And you guys have a great day.
Yes, thank you all so much.
I know it.
Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Oh yeah, I can print this out. Look, it prints it up on it.
Yeah, you know, we need to do a group email if we could get everybody's email.
Yeah, she's gonna, she said she can print it, so.
Good.
I'm trying this cord here. Print this out.
Amanda goes, there she goes. You got them emails?
Oh, her daughters went to North Jackson. Hello, Miss Sonia.
Oh, so good to hear from you. I get so focused on the chats down there.
I know.
Sometimes I couldn't look at them till I got done doing something.
So I need to add.
Oh, this is much easier.
Yes.
I'm all about easy.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
Can we still print
Thank
the
you,
chat?
guys.
Thank you all.